we in Burlington County, and I don't know that, I think one of the things I'm most proud of is I think we've kind of turned the corner and coming to you, getting to know your issues instead of drawing maps from Trent, which has been kind of a big part of our history within the context of the state plan. It's not the entire history of the state plan, but I would say since the last 10 years, that's, I wouldn't say that kind of the highlight of the 30-year history of the state plan. So my name is Dan Kennedy. I come with you with credentials similar to Bob's, but certainly not the level of experience that he brings to the table with 30 years plus in planning and some of his staff members. I think I agree with your chairman's characterization of the position this county holds and the planning division holds within kind of the pantheon of planning divisions and economic development thought within the state of New Jersey. I think you do have the best and brightest staff, and I think you've got the right framework in place to manage the complicated issues that Somerset County and this region and the state face moving forward. I think some of the challenges you're facing in Somerset County are not necessarily 100% unique to Somerset County. Some of your surrounding counties are kind of facing and dealing with some of the same issues with some of the development that took place in the 70s and 80s, and how to see those areas repopulated, repurposed, reconditioned, and continue to contribute to the local and state economy. Maybe let me just open up this PowerPoint real quick, and I promise not to bore you too much. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to try to give you an idea of how I think we can do better moving forward. The state plan, it goes back to the mid-'80s. The state planning act was adopted under the Keene administration, which required a state planning commission that was created, which includes 17 members, many of them members of local and county government, to come up with the state development and redevelopment plan that essentially identifies critical areas of the state for either economic growth or preservation. It includes a charge to coordinate amongst the state agencies, and I think that was one of the major areas that the plan has dealt in the past. I'm coming from more local government, have experienced the kind of the friction between state agencies. When we had a great plan locally, a developer came to the table with a great plan, and it got kind of stuck in the spider web of state departments, either whether for real reasons or reasons based on ego and lack of cooperation. You could never work it out, and there was never really a venue to work out those issues. So I think a big part of our role here is to try to take the unique situations in this county and every other county in the state and try to patchwork it together. We're going to try to do that in a way that doesn't include a big, heavy, top-down document with a lot of details. And we're doing that on purpose. The reason why we're doing that is because we believe that the details shouldn't be decided by the state. We think that a bottoms-up approach is most appropriate, and we also know that the challenges of dealing with these issues, 565 municipalities at a time, especially with important issues that are really difficult to deal with town by town, like transportation, environmental protection, water quality and quantity, regional housing needs. These issues are really difficult to deal with town by town. The plan that we developed does certainly respect the realities, the good and the bad of home rule. And we think that we have a framework that we presented that we are happy that Somerset County has embraced at this early stage. So we can help piece together and accept and embrace what Somerset County's done without a lot of second guessing. And your priorities then, de facto, become our priorities. And it's going to be our job to live up to the tall task of organizing the beast that is New Jersey state government, trying to untangle the kind of the web of Christmas lights that we deal with in terms of state regulations to make sure that development that is willingly accepted at the local level and planned and zoned for isn't met with challenges at the state level and is prioritized with the limited financial resources and programs that we have for planning and implementation. This is the kind of the framework we have to deal with here. We have local zoning and regulation that gets into the details. We've got levels of government, every level of government that does a certain level of planning, from the local, county, regional. In some areas, especially in Somerset County, we have regional planning entities like the Highlands Council that have a regional master plan. Some of conformance is necessary, some is optional. And at the state level, we have functional plans of state government, water supply plans, wastewater plans, all these larger kind of big plans that need to come together. But really what makes the kind of the projects move or not is capital investment priority from the public and private sector, and local zoning and regulation in place that will make these private market decisions flourish or not. So it's our job in our office to come up and recommend to the governor a framework that's certainly much different than the state plans that you've seen in the past. The last state plan was formally adopted by the State Planning Commission in 2001 and included a state plan policy map that basically is a land use plan for the entire state. It was very high on strategies and very light on what the state's going to do about it. It was very heavy on what the towns are going to do and very light on what the state government is going to do. So we've kind of flipped that on its head, and we've asked ourselves, what can this complex organization, how can we put together a strategy to be successful? We recognize the transition reports from the Christie administration recognize very clearly that this complex organization that we inherited is not operating efficiently or efficiently enough. And when these parts of this complex organization are working together, the success for common moving the ball forward in a common way is very limited. So we also know we're faced with intense resource constraints, fiscal and environmental in some places. So this complex business, known as the state of New Jersey, is trying to rethink its organizational strategy for meeting the needs of local and state government moving forward. So in early 2011, we established a draft strategic plan that was to replace the 2001 State Development and Redevelopment Plan. It included pretty much a high-level vision and mission, strategies and principles, and kind of in a very kind of open way talked about what we wanted to accomplish. We went through 8 public hearings, and we were probably at least every county planning board at least once, if not 5 or 6 times, whether it was at a county director's meeting, a freeholder meeting, a chamber event. We've really been everywhere in the state trying to explain what this plan is and what it isn't. So we're still kind of in the process of getting our action plans together. We came up with a framework that started with a very short plan that has a kind of the goals, objectives, and strategies. That basically the first step in that plan is for the state government to develop what we're calling implementation plans, which are agency actions and operations that will be developed with a level of transparency that the counties and local government and private sector can contribute to. And those plans will be required to be consistent with the state strategic plan. And in a big way is really trying to accomplish local goals. And of course, any plan that's worth anything needs to have a feedback mechanism to find out what's working, what's not, and make changes. So we plan on doing that every year. The old plan was long, and the new one is short. I would say that's not a reason why it's a great plan. The reason why I think it's a great plan is because it kind of modernizes and innovates on aspects of planning that weren't working. And we really appreciate the counties like Somerset that are innovating alongside of us. It's kind of scary. We have and for planners it's scary. We get approached by planners all the time like we're trying to kind of change the Holy Grail. Planning Area 1 and these kind of planning area designations are kind of ingrained within our master plans. They're ingrained within our kind of our planning literature. We talk about them. We've got professors that teach classes on this. How can we, God forbid, change this? And my answer is it's not working. So why shouldn't we change it? So we are going from a system that tries to control and stop growth to a system that tries to focus growth in the right places and encourage it, try to take away the barriers and red tape for growth in those places where it's most appropriate, and then also while retaining targeted protection of critical resources through our land protection programs and smart regulations that regulate land in a way that's fair to property owners. So we're evolving away from the state plan policy map into a new criteria-based system. Your county framework is that criteria-based system. So if I could shoot back to the visual here, what you've done is in red, and our job is to kind of force it within the state system without messing with it. You kind of just define the lines, and we then force it into the system. So the areas you target for growth are departments that offer incentives prioritize those areas. And then our departments that regulate land and public uses within and private uses within those areas provide a rational regulatory process to see that dirt gets moved in those places in a way that's cheaper for the private sector and delivers the important public benefits of those projects that are preferred at the local level. We're evolving away from the plan endorsement system, though. It certainly resulted in some good work. Certainly in Somerset County, we're doing some good work. But we think there's different ways to get at the same kind of good work with local partners through a voluntary scorecard system. The one real good thing about the State Planning Act is it kind of created a reason for a lot of good work at the county level. Cross-acceptance, the process known by all of us as a process to change and adapt the state plan over time, put the counties in a real key role in that process. So we plan on continuing that historic position of county planning units in every county and give them opportunity to really kind of drive the ball just as much as they have in the past. We don't think that it's possible to get the detail needed to effectively do this job at the state level. So the new plan focuses more on effective regional planning as opposed to trying to create standards for the type of things that happen in Morris County and Cape May at the same time. We're going to let a lot of elbow room take place in this plan to let things happen in this state in ways that haven't happened from state government before, that respect the fact that New Jersey is really just kind of a hodgepodge of really diverse and unique regions, and state government needs to address the issues of those regions without a kind of set policy for each of them. An acre of land in Morris County is really much different than an acre of land in, say, Cape May County. So, to have rules for that same acre with the different economies and the different market realities is very, very quite challenging. And we think that a mayor could pick up our new plan and read it over a cup of coffee and understand roughly what we're trying to get at. They may or may not like it, but at least they have access to it. They don't have to read the encyclopedia of smart growth. They know what they're getting at right away,